When the Creator made the heavens and the earth, water was the source of all life. Before all creatures came into existence, water existed as the first symphony of nature, shimmering in the sunlight and flowing in endless streams. For millions of years, the miraculous story of water has continued to unfold, flowing through time, nurturing and shaping rich ecosystems. And from this source of water, this place was formed. But each story of life is painted in a myriad of different colors.
Namibia. The place of the oldest desert in the world. A land where endless stretches of sand seem to have no end in sight. Red covers everything here, as if one were standing on the surface of Mars. Water is a rare sight, turning it into the most precious resource. It's even more valuable than gold or diamonds. The scorching dunes and harsh heat fail to defeat the resilient creatures here. Amidst the arid and treacherous land, life still persists in places where one would least expect it.
The winter. Blizzards are not the scariest thing, but there is one thing we fear the most. It is hunger. No prey is appearing either. Everything seems to be hibernating. Predators are everywhere. Just a slight lapse in vigilance could be die. Welcome to the winter of Alaska, where life, struggle, and survival unfold in the icy cold. Located in the far northwest of North America, Alaska borders Canada to the east, the Arctic Ocean to the north, and the Pacific Ocean to the west, across the Bering Strait from Russia. The weather here is truly harsh, with snow and ice covering almost year-round. Temperatures in Alaska typically drop below 0 degrees Celsius, ranging from -18 degrees Celsius to -30 degrees Celsius, and can plummet to -50 degrees Celsius in northern areas like Barrow and Fairbanks. Snowfall is heavy, averaging 1 to 2 meters per season, with some mountainous areas receiving up to 4 to 5 meters of snow. Rivers and lakes are frozen with ice up to 1.5 meters thick, making Alaska one of the harshest winter environments in the world. To survive, the wildlife here requires resilience and adaptation. When the majestic auroras appear, animals are busy preparing for the coming winter. From October, temperatures start to drop, and some areas already have snow. This herd of caribou is taking advantage of the remaining dry grasses on the snow-covered ground. As in less than a month, the snow may deepen and cover this scarce food. If they don't act quickly, they will surely face starvation. This red fox, scientifically known as Vulpes vulpes, is commonly found in northern Alaska. It has just been fortunate enough to catch a bird, and the meal is going well. It is very foresighted, trying to hide the leftover food in the snow. Unfortunately, if the snow falls heavily, it will be very difficult to locate the hidden stash. Winter is about to begin, and the red fox needs to quickly gather as much food as possible before many species migrate or hibernate, making it much harder to find prey at that time. Off the northern and northwestern coast of Alaska, this polar bear named Anna is pregnant and is expected to give birth in mid-January. At this time, the sea ice begins to form, allowing polar bears to move further afield in search of seals. The life of a polar bear is closely tied to the ice, hunting on the ice. They are often referred to as the wanderers of the sea. Forests are covered in snow. Everything edible is utilized. Many eyes are watching. Hunting under the thick snow in winter is challenging. In this area, the snow is not too deep yet. Conditions are favorable for adding protein to the diet. It seems that a divine sign has given the deer an ominous sense. Run! The deer was fortunate to move quickly. The wolf pack's hunt has failed. They will have to learn from this for future attempts, choosing prey that are either young or old and weak. This failure means the whole pack will face starvation. Winter is the longest season of the year in Alaska, and from November onwards, snow blankets the mountains, creating a stunning and majestic landscape. Yet beneath this seemingly uninhabitable snow layer, there exists a small but very industrious creature. To avoid the cold and stay safe from predators, the best strategy is to build a cozy home. In this warm shelter, a snug sleeping area is essential for sweet dreams. However, sweet dreams don't last long. The snowy owl flies silently and almost noiselessly, with its broad wings gliding smoothly and gracefully, aided by the sparse feathers at the wingtips that make its flight more silent. The lemming had not yet realized what had just happened. On the other side of the mountain, emerging from her den after days of storm avoidance, she is very hungry. In winter, there is very little food available on the snow-covered surface, so moving further afield is a necessity. Traveling farther means constant lurking dangers. The villain has appeared. These golden eagles typically migrate south in Alaska as temperatures continue to drop, but they cannot continue flying if they have nothing in their stomachs. Eagles have superior vision, approximately 4 to 5 times better than humans. They can spot prey from over 3 kilometers away. Eagle eyes contain more cone cells, which helps in detecting fine details, even in low light conditions, and perceiving colors, including ultraviolet light, aiding in hunting from afar or while flying at high speeds. Once you are spotted by them, any movement could be fatal. She has detected the predator. Fleeing is the best option now, especially for a quick and agile rabbit. However, it is unfortunate that she has ventured too far from her safe shelter. Soaring down at speeds up to 240 kilometers per hour, her escape only adds to the drama of the golden eagle's story. A life ends in silence, as an inevitable part of the survival cycle. In the heart of winter in Alaska, another diligent resident is eager to venture out in search of food to fill a hungry belly. Thick snow blankets everything, making hunting difficult. Prey hides beneath the icy layer, hard to reach. Perhaps waiting is the best option now, as snow and wind make it hard to hear or smell and locate prey. Patience and focus are key to survival. Now is also the time to retrieve stored food, preserved perfectly under the snow, much like how we store meat in a freezer. Fortunately, he found the hidden food. Though sparse and mostly bones, it still provides some energy to seek fresher sustenance. During this time in Alaska, the sun appears for only a few hours a day, and in places like Utqiagvik, sunlight is very limited or non-existent for entire days. When the sun does shine, the snow-covered landscape, ice, and the weak light from the low horizon sun create a mystical and serene environment. The red fox has a keen sense of smell and can detect food beneath the thick snow. However, the thickening snow and winds make it increasingly difficult to pinpoint the exact location. Red foxes have excellent hearing, able to detect a snow grouse moving 600 steps away, a raven flying 0.25 to 0.5 kilometers away, and a mouse squeaking from 100 meters corresponds to 330 feet. They can pinpoint sounds within a frequency range of 700 to 3000 hertz. When the winds and snowstorms subside, this fox species can fully utilize its superior abilities. It seems to have detected something beneath the thick snow. Are they playing? No. In reality, it has discovered a mouse beneath the snow. But catching it is never straightforward. It needs to remain quiet and listen carefully. From close range, the mouse's heavy breathing can also help the fox locate it. The small mouse, though tiny, still provides some benefit. As winter progresses, rivers in northern Alaska completely freeze over, and snow blankets most of the mountain ranges. On mountain slopes, at elevations of 3,000 meters above sea level, temperatures can drop below -20 degrees Celsius for many days. In Alaska, it is estimated that there are about 5,000 bison, primarily inhabiting grasslands and valleys at the foothills of mountain ranges like the Brooks Range and the Alaska Range. These areas, with their rugged terrain and harsh climate, provide natural shelter, helping them escape fierce snowstorms and search for food along the mountain slopes, where the snow cover is not as thick as on the plains. The thick fur and solidarity help this herd of bison endure the cold. Blizzards and strong winds gradually wear down their remaining strength. They move close together, forming a tight-knit group to stay warm and conserve energy, battling against the harsh cold of winter. During snowstorm days, they limit movement and will have to endure hunger. Without food, and if there is any, it must be dug out from under the snow. The frozen grass underneath is also very sparse. This is an incredibly tough time for the young and the old under strong blizzards. They will have to endure hunger for many days due to difficulty in moving. The bison are the only species capable of withstanding blizzards. They will stay put until the storm and winds subside. Their survival instincts have served them well, but not everyone is so fortunate. some of the old or young individuals may never awaken. Alaska is home to many seal species, thanks to its rich marine ecosystem and cold environment. These seals are widely distributed along the coastline and in the icy waters. Ice floes provide a safe place for resting, breeding, and caring for young. They also help seals avoid predators and take time to recover between hunting sessions. This seal pup was born in November, making it one of the latest born here. It only spends a few weeks with its mother, nursing and gaining weight up to 3 kilograms per day. After weeks of wandering, Anna needs to stock up on energy before entering hibernation and giving birth starting January next year. And it seems she has detected nearby seals. Polar bears have an excellent sense of smell. They can detect the scent of seals from distances of up to 3 to 5 kilometers. Depending on the wind or snow, they can move and locate the exact position of the seals. And these two seals, a mother and her pup, are Anna's target. This hunting trip is crucial for Anna. Climate change has made it difficult for her to find seals in the shallow, nearshore waters. The seal pup has escaped. Anna's clumsy efforts have not yielded results. Anna is 6 years old, and this is her first pregnancy. The scarcity of food threatens both Anna and her unborn cubs. Many polar bear cubs may die in the womb or may not be born. Polar bears have a reproductive cycle of about every 3 years. This slow reproductive cycle is due to the extended period of maternal care, usually from 2 to 3 years before cubs are independent. At this time, there will still be seal pups born late in the autumn. They have already weaned and are living independently. These will be rare opportunities that Anna might be able to take advantage of. The seal pup is sheltering under an ice cave, feeling quite safe and able to relax a bit. Anna is more composed now, approaching step by step. On this side, the seal pup has not yet detected anything unusual. Anna underestimated the thickness of the ice, and the time was enough for the seal to escape. The majestic slopes of Denali in Alaska emerge in the stark white of snow. A mother reindeer and her calf are resting, This calf, born in the autumn, is nearly 5 months old and curls up to fend off the relentless cold winds. Reindeer can eat a variety of plant foods, including herbs, ferns, mosses, grasses, shoots, fungi, and leaves. To find food, they must graze tiny bits or scrape through the frozen ice. On average, an adult reindeer consumes about 4 to 8 kilograms of vegetation each day. Meeting this food requirement is quite a challenge. Even for adult reindeer, hunger and cold, coupled with the harsh weather challenges, make survival difficult. The suffering of one can sometimes become the joy of another. This creature is the wolverine. One of the largest members of the weasel family, an adult wolverine can weigh around 30 kilograms, but individuals vary significantly in size. Some female wolverines can weigh less than 10 kilograms. Although they are quite capable hunters and can take down prey as large as moose, which can weigh up to 7 times their own body weight, wolverines prefer scavenging and are quick to locate and consume carrion. Wolverines are voracious eaters, unlike their relatives, resembling honey badgers in their ravenous and aggressive behavior. The feast begins. Animal carcasses decompose more slowly in winter due to the low temperatures, and wolverines sometimes benefit from this. Wolverines have excellent vision, often lifting their heads to scan their surroundings, but their sense of smell is relatively weak, making it harder for them to pinpoint the exact location of food. Despite being known as one of the most gluttonous creatures of the Arctic, it seems he is on high alert for something. Not only the wolverine enjoys the feast, the Arctic fox, which looks so cute, also joins the party. They quickly scent and move towards the location of the deceased. Thanks to the reindeer carcass, it can survive through the coming freezing days. They are quite content. The Arctic fox does not hibernate and is active year-round. They store fat in the fall and can sometimes increase their body weight by over 50%. This helps insulate them through the winter and provides a good energy source when food is scarce. Back to our pack of wolves, they have not managed to hunt any large prey for weeks. If they endure hunger for more than 3 weeks, there is a risk of some dying. They are very serious in this life or death battle. A herd of reindeer is in danger. To ensure survival, reindeer must keep moving to find the scarce food available in this winter. They have accidentally entered the sights of the wolf pack. wolf pack does not launch an attack immediately. Instead, they will monitor their prey for a considerable time, and only when they identify the weakest targets, they will encircle and eliminate them. These are definitely the weak, young, or injured ones. They only attack when commanded by the alpha. The thick snow makes running difficult for them, and failure seems inevitable. But the story is not over for the wolf pack. A small deer has been spotted. There is no chance for the unfortunate one. Wolves have a hierarchical structure, even while feeding, but rules are not always strictly followed. Some may break the rules and will certainly be reprimanded. When negotiations fail, it will inevitably be resolved with violence. This meal is very valuable to the wolf pack. Although the deer is not large, it could provide the pack with additional strength for future hunts. Not as noisy as the wolves. This silent predator is watching. It is a silent professional. You might think it will take the wolf's food, but instead, it is going after its own prey. This is the Canada lynx, which lives mainly in the snowy regions of northern Alaska and is also found extensively in Canada. This species has long, dense fur, triangular ears with black tufts, and broad feet resembling snowshoes. The mouse is busy building its new home and has not yet detected the approaching danger. There is no need to hurry. The current position is not advantageous, so the lynx shifts to a more effective approach. The opportunity is approaching. With thick padding on its feet, each step it takes is almost silent. However, with the prey buried under the snow, it cannot pinpoint the exact location to strike like a fox. The only option is to wait for the right moment. Only when it knows the exact position of the mouse will the attack commence. Under its sharp claws, the mouse has no chance of escape. From September to April, the northern lights are easily visible in Alaska. As the year progresses, they become more visible and their colors become more vibrant. The aurora forms when electrically charged particles from the solar wind collide with Earth's ionosphere. Under the influence of the magnetic field, these particles concentrate around the poles and interact with atmospheric gas molecules, creating light. This brilliant light also signals that winter has arrived. At the end of the year, most rivers in Alaska freeze, but strangely, here the water does not freeze completely. This place is home to a large number of large birds, which are considered a symbol of the United States. Bald eagles. In November, the Eagle Valley transforms into a spectacular haven for bald eagles, where the largest concentration of bald eagles in the country gathers. Witness the incredible sight of up to 3,000 bald eagles gathering along a 4-mile stretch of the stunning Chilkat River in the 48,000-acre Alaska Chilkat Bald Eagle Preserve near Haines. What is special is that most rivers in Alaska will freeze in winter. When temperatures drop significantly, often below -20 degrees Celsius or lower, rivers begin to be covered by thick ice. Large rivers like the Yukon and Kuskokwim are usually frozen from October to April, turning them into giant ice roads. But at a stretch of the Chilkat River, the water only freezes on the banks. In the middle, there is still a flowing, warm current. The strange phenomenon is due to geological activity in the area, with numerous hot springs flowing into the river. This is why the river does not freeze. Under the water, it is like a graveyard of salmon. This is the final migration of the year for salmon to the warm waters here to spawn. They are exhausted and end up leaving their bodies behind. And this is also why thousands of bald eagles gather here. This free food source becomes a feast for the bald eagles. Every year, bald eagles from all over come to this area, taking advantage of the easy hunting opportunity. Exhausted or dead salmon, after spawning, float on the water, becoming a tasty meal. They can come from various locations, including the dense forests along the Pacific coast in Alaska, British Columbia, and Washington. Additionally, eagles fly in from high mountain areas like the Rockies in Canada, or from the large lakeshore regions in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Remote coastal areas in Oregon and along the Gulf of Alaska are also common gathering spots before they head further north to the frozen rivers. Once they arrive, they perch on tall rocks, large branches by the riverbanks, or at the edges of steep cliffs, where they have the perfect vantage point to spot exhausted salmon floating up to the surface. These salmon were born about 4 to 5 years ago right here. With a journey from the Bering Sea to the Chilkoot River of approximately 1,600 kilometers, lasting over 3 months, which exhausts them completely to complete their life cycle. The Chilkat River salmon are quite large, often weighing as much as an eagle, about 4 to 6 kilograms, 9 to 13 pounds. And bald eagles find it difficult to lift the fish completely off the ground. Instead, they often drag the fish to the shore or eat it on the spot. Ravens also take advantage of the bald eagle's strength to secure a hearty meal for themselves. However, after December, the number of salmon dwindles, and this free food source will be depleted. Competition starts to emerge among the bald eagles. Their talons are very sharp, and their legs are strong. If not careful, rivals may be mortally wounded. The leftover scraps and bones will soon be cleaned up. With winter only halfway through, these bald eagles will need to spread their wings and search for new sources of food. Current climate change is directly affecting Alaska, particularly the northern sea regions like the Beaufort Sea and the Chukchi Sea. Previously, these sea areas were completely frozen throughout the winter. However, now the ice in these regions forms much later and melts earlier, reducing sea ice extent and affecting the ecosystem, particularly species dependent on ice like polar bears and seals. Even if ice forms, it is often too thin, usually insufficient for seals to haul out. Returning to our Anna, with food sources extremely scarce and the climate changing too much, she has been unable to give birth. This time would normally be when Anna hibernates to give birth and care for her cubs. But we see Anna has become very thin. She has traveled thousands of kilometers around the northern regions, where there is more ice. Temperatures in recent years have varied greatly, with very thin ice in this area. Polar bears are excellent swimmers. To search for seals, they may swim for hours or even days if conditions are unfavorable for resting on the ice. Anna is very hungry, partly because the number of seals in this area has become very low. To hunt easily, she might have to wait until early spring when seals are preparing to breed. These vast sea areas were once covered by thick ice, but now it is only a thin layer, making it impossible for large animals to move. And only where the ice is thick enough can seals appear. They rely on sea ice to rest, breed, and avoid predators. When sea ice melts early or is insufficiently thick, seals struggle to find safe resting places, which severely impacts their life cycle. Anna has recently spotted a seal. After months of food scarcity, Anna has lost up to 1/3 of her body weight, making her look only slightly larger than a young adult bear. The polar bear's sense of smell is extremely keen, allowing them to detect prey from great distances. Polar bears can smell seals from over 1.6 kilometers, about 1 mile, away, and can even detect seals under ice up to 1 meter thick. Everything needs to be done very quietly. The seal is obscured by drifting ice, making it almost impossible to detect Anna approaching. Luck has arrived. This seal provides a crucial source of fat for the polar bear's survival. It will sustain her for a few days before she embarks on her next hunt. From this point on, seals will become more abundant, and Anna will soon regain her weight and prepare for the next breeding season. Among most of the wildlife living here, polar bears are perhaps the most heavily affected by climate change. They have tried to adapt for survival by extending their time hunting on land and altering their diet. But these efforts are still insufficient to compensate for the loss of their primary habitat. Many findings have shown that they are not reproducing or are engaging in cannibalism. If this trend continues, the survival of the polar bear species will be increasingly threatened. Alaska currently has very few polar bears, and this situation is becoming more severe due to increased climate change. We need to act immediately to rapidly reduce global warming, such as by cutting greenhouse gas emissions and promoting renewable energy. By mitigating the impact of climate change, we can protect the habitat of polar bears and other wildlife, helping to maintain ecological balance and preserve Alaska's vital ecosystems. When the Creator made the heavens and the earth, water was the source of all life. Before all creatures came into existence, water existed as the first symphony of nature, shimmering in the sunlight and flowing in endless streams. For millions of years, the miraculous story of water has continued to unfold, flowing through time, nurturing and shaping rich ecosystems. And from this source of water, this place was formed. But each story of life is painted in a myriad of different colors. Let us embark on this wondrous journey to explore not only the pristine beauty, but also the untold stories of a mysterious world known to few, where water and life merge as one. Pantanal is the largest wetland in the world, mostly located in Brazil and extending to the borders with Bolivia and Paraguay. With an area that can expand up to 400,000 square kilometers during the rainy season, Pantanal is even larger than the territory of modern-day Germany. In this vast wetland, millions of creatures have found their home. Pantanal is one of the most biodiverse areas on Earth, with a richness of flora and fauna that surpasses even famous wetlands like the Okavango Delta in Africa. There are over 4,700 species of animals and plants in the Pantanal. The number of vertebrate species here even surpasses that of the Amazon, transforming Pantanal into a rich and wild kingdom, still holding many fascinating, undiscovered wonders. Pantanal is truly a paradise for birds, with around 650 species found here. It transforms the region into a stage filled with endless sounds. The Jabiru stork is one of the most prominent endemic species of Pantanal. They typically start nesting in July, just before the rainy season begins. Nesting high in the trees gives them a broad view and safety from predators. Jabiru storks build large nests, mostly made of dry branches, with both the male and female working together. They lay their eggs at the start of the rainy season, when food becomes abundant due to flooding and the thriving ecosystem. The rainy season is also when aquatic life in Pantanal flourishes, with over 400 species of fish inhabiting this vast wetland. Fish play a crucial role in the food chain, sustaining most of the wildlife here. They not only provide nourishment, but also maintain the ecological balance of Pantanal, making it one of the richest and most diverse ecosystems in the world. Formed during the Tertiary period, about 2.5 million years ago, when the Andes mountain building was intense, many rivers originating from the Andes flow from surrounding highlands and converge here. This convergence has turned Pantanal into a vast inland river plain. Though the rains are heavy, they are not enough to flood all areas, creating new water zones where fish quickly migrate. These newly flooded areas become rich resources, providing ideal conditions for fish to spawn and seek food. The cunning caiman crocodiles have developed an extremely effective hunting strategy. They patiently position themselves at the only exit of small pools where perch fish must swim through to reach larger waters. In this migration, the fish unknowingly become an easy meal for the relaxed predators. In Pantanal, there are millions of caiman, making it the area with the highest concentration of caimans in the world. Unlike American alligators, caiman crocodiles mainly inhabit swamps, lakes, and mangrove rivers in Central and South America. They have long, narrow V-shaped snouts, while American alligators have wider, rounder U-shaped snouts. Caiman skin is covered by tough scales, especially on their backs, protecting them from other predators. However, their bellies and sides are softer, making them more vulnerable. A distinctive feature of caimans is their sharp teeth, which protrude even when their mouths are closed, giving them a more fearsome appearance compared to other crocodiles. They are referred to as the rulers of the waters in the Pantanal ecosystem, with their strength and fearsome hunting abilities. However, caiman crocodiles in the Pantanal wetlands are not without enemies. They face an eternal adversary, the jaguar, one of the most powerful predators. The fierce competition between these two species creates a dramatic battle for survival in the wetlands here. The jaguar is the third largest member of the cat family, after tigers and lions. They can weigh between 56 to 96 kilograms, 125 to 211 pounds, with females typically smaller than males. The largest recorded jaguar weighed about 136 kilograms, 300 pounds. Their strength and power have made jaguars one of the top predators in the Pantanal, where they have almost no natural enemies. The majesty of jaguars has become a symbol of strength and power in South American cultures. Caiman are one of jaguars' favorite prey. They often roam near the water's edge, where the shoreline shrubs help them hide from detection by the crocodiles. A caiman has caught the attention of a jaguar. It had just caught a fish and was preparing to enjoy its meal. No prey is foolish, and the king has met defeat. God sided with the caiman, at least in this situation. In Pantanal, caimans are present in almost every body of water, with millions of them making this the region with the highest concentration of caiman crocodiles in the world. After about 3 to 4 years, caiman reach maturity, achieving their maximum size and weight to reproduce. At this point, they weigh between 40 to 100 kilograms, with an average length of 2 to 2.5 meters. The rainy season marks the official beginning of the male's performance. To attract mates, male caimans emit low-frequency sounds inaudible to the human ear. But in water, these sounds can travel great distances. This unique sound serves both to repel rivals and as a magnet to capture the attention of female caimans. Caiman tend to live together in small groups, especially during the early stages of their young. They often stay with their mother or other family members for up to 18 months. From an early age, caiman crocodiles develop sharp teeth, allowing them to quickly adapt to hunting and self-defense. Even when young, they are capable of catching small prey such as fish, insects, and amphibians. In Pantanal, the hunter's position can easily be reversed. Although strong enough to hunt caimans weighing as much as themselves, jaguars cannot venture into groups of caimans, as they could be eaten by the very caimans they hunt. The safer strategy is to target caimans that are alone or in small groups. It has spotted its target. Though primarily land-based, jaguars are excellent swimmers, but they only swim when hunting or when absolutely necessary. In the water, their risk level increases many-fold. It silently approaches its prey without making a sound. CAIMAN crocodile is instantly taken down with a single fatal bite, crushing either its skull or cervical spine. This ability has made the jaguar one of the top apex predators in the wild habitat of the Pantanal. Large water birds are iconic residents of the Pantanal's swampy regions. The roseate spoonbill, with its uniquely spoon-shaped bill, is one of the most fascinating evolutionary adaptations. This distinctive bill shape allows them to easily sift through mud and water, searching for small fish, shrimp, and invertebrates. Their breeding season coincides with the rainy season, differing from the jabiru stork, whose nests are often found in shrubs near water edges. Another species with a similar bill shape is the white spoonbill. They are generally smaller than the roseate spoonbill and have white plumage. During the breeding season, the plumage of the roseate spoonbill becomes a deeper and more vibrant pink, helping them attract mates. Roseate spoonbills are typically very active, calling and communicating with one another. To attract females, they perform dancing displays, flap their wings, and clack their bills together, creating an impressive show. The abundant food supply and favorable habitat have turned the Pantanal into one of the world's largest populations of roseate spoonbills. Most of the water birds in the Pantanal breed during the rainy season, typically starting from around November to March. Nests can be found everywhere. At this time, the bustling sounds of the breeding season echo throughout the swamp. The atmosphere becomes vibrant and energized, creating a rich and lively symphony of nature. These sounds are not only expressions of life, but also signs of continuity, as new generations are born and continue the wondrous story of the Pantanal. This area is also home to many small water birds, such as the yellow-throated ibis, water sparrows, jacanas, and various other species. These birds typically take advantage of the shoreline areas, where trees and wild grasses provide nesting grounds and food sources. They usually forage by wading in shallow waters, hunting for prey like insects or small fish. However, among the birds of prey in the Pantanal, there is one rather unique species. Their prey consists of apple snails. These snails live in shallow waters and feed on almost anything, including grass leaves, algae, and even fish carcasses. This species reproduces very quickly. The snail kite, with its distinctively curved bill, easily extracts the snail from its shell. Apple snails are widespread throughout South America, and the snail kite plays a key role in maintaining ecological balance. Nature always surprises us with fascinating adaptations, and the hyacinth macaw is a perfect example. The hyacinth macaw has an extremely strong beak, which allows it to easily crack open palm nuts and enjoy the tasty kernels inside. The Pantanal is currently the primary habitat for this species, which is listed as vulnerable by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, due to its declining population. Adaptation is a crucial factor in the survival of these giant otters. They are carnivorous mammals found in South America, particularly in the Pantanal wetlands. As one of the oldest members of the mustelid family, evolution has honed their swimming and hunting skills, making them expert hunters in aquatic environments. With thick fur and a protective layer of fat, giant otters can stay warm in cold waters and easily navigate rivers and canals. The prey of giant otters is quite diverse, ranging from fish and shrimp to other aquatic animals. They have the ability to dive deep and move quickly in the water, enabling them to search for food effectively. Giant otters also often hunt smaller animals such as frogs, toads, and invertebrates. When hunting, they use cooperative skills to drive their prey into narrow areas, making it easier to catch. However, when eating, they often monopolize the captured prey, not sharing it with other group members. Their habit of surfacing is quite interesting, as they frequently pop up to breathe, displaying joy and energy. Giant otters typically live in groups, often forming small family units. They dig burrows near water edges for shelter at night, as well as for breeding and nurturing their young. These burrows are carefully constructed, creating a safe space for family members. Giant otters often choose secluded spots near riverbanks or swamps to dig their burrows. Giant otters are primarily active during the day, especially in the early morning and late afternoon, when the temperatures are cooler. Giant otters typically care for their offspring for about 6 to 12 months. During this time, the young are taught essential hunting and swimming skills needed for survival in the wild. The mother otter teaches them how to find food, recognize dangers, and interact with other members of the group. Giant otters are an endangered species, and even in the wild, they face dangers from predators like snakes and CAIMAN crocodiles. It can be said that they are the friendliest creatures in the Pantanal. Not only do they have an incredibly cute appearance with their plump, round bodies, but they are also very gentle residents. The capybara, the largest rodent in the world, belongs to the guinea pig family and is found in most areas near water in the Pantanal. With their high social behavior, capybaras can gather in groups of up to 100 individuals, but they usually live in groups of 10 to 20. Capybaras primarily eat grass and some aquatic plants. They are very selective eaters consuming the leaves of one species while ignoring others around them. And they eat more of a particular plant during the dry season, when fewer plants are available. Capybaras are herbivores with a very selective diet, often consuming only one type of grass while ignoring others in the same feeding area, and they can eat a large amount of vegetation daily, around 3 to 4 kilograms for an adult. During the rainy season, when food is abundant, capybaras have plenty of time to rest. A jaguar has noticed a group of capybaras. They are often quite fearless and do not immediately flee from danger. Fortunately, they made the right decision. Young capybaras have little chance of surviving when targeted by caiman crocodiles underwater. It can be said that capybaras are carefree, yet turn into the boldest beings in the wetlands. They have detected the lurking jaguar, but do not immediately flee. After a frightening chase, one capybara failed to keep up with the group. Their calls help them quickly communicate and connect with each other. Today, with the jaguars, hunting is just a secondary task. They are more focused on more important matters. The hot scene accidentally has some unexpected spectators. Pregnant jaguars carry their young for about 3 months. They typically give birth between January and March each year. From the middle of the rainy season in the Pantanal, many types of fruits begin to ripen, creating a rich food source for many fruit-eating birds, including the toucan. Thanks to their large bills, these birds can consume nearly all types of ripe fruits they find. The toucan, Rhamphastos toco, is the largest species in the toucan family. With their large size and distinctive bills, they can reach lengths of about 25 inches and weigh between 1.1 to 1.8 pounds. Toucans are common in the Pantanal wetlands, especially in the Cerrado, gallery forests of Brazil, and swamp areas. Another fruit and seed-loving creature is the Amazon parrot, Amazona aestiva, also known as the yellow-headed parrot. This parrot loves to eat fruit and seeds, and when the cassava fruit turns yellow, it marks the time when the food source for the yellow-headed parrot becomes plentiful. They have green feathers on their foreheads above their bills and yellow on their faces and crowns. The distribution of green and yellow varies significantly among individuals. Unlike most other Amazon parrot species, their bills are primarily black. By the end of the rainy season, some elevated areas have dried up significantly, leaving the soil richer than ever. The ground is now filled with all sorts of things that the South American coati finds fascinating. They eat nearly all types of living creatures they find beneath the surface of the soil. Their long noses help coatis easily overturn dry leaves in search of food. South American coatis typically live in groups of 15 to 30 individuals. These groups consist mostly of females and their young. Males, on the other hand, lead solitary lives, only joining the group briefly during the mating season. The South American coati is an omnivorous species. This sunbittern is focused on hunting near its nest, but unfortunately, its chicks have become prey to the South American coati. They do not only forage on the ground, but are also excellent climbers, accessing food from above. During the fruiting season, they consume almost any fruit, bird eggs, or even nestlings they come across. Palm fruits are one of their favorites. With their long, flexible snouts, coatis can delve deep into fruit clusters to pick the ripest ones, maximizing the rich food sources available in Pantanal. But for some species, the trees serve as more than just a food source. They become a powerful defensive weapon. Hundreds of yellow-rumped cacique nests often share a single tree. These trees are carefully chosen for one reason. They host large, active wasp nests. The wasps act as unwitting protectors of the birds' nests. Thanks to this unique partnership, South American coatis stay far away, knowing that raiding these nests would be far too dangerous. However, the caciques are not entirely safe. Occasionally, their nests are attacked by predators. Pantanal is home to many birds of prey, including hawks and eagles. The crested caracara, known for its scavenging abilities, doesn't just hunt. It also feeds on carrion, playing a crucial role in cleaning up the environment and maintaining ecological balance. In Pantanal, water hyacinths are the most common aquatic plants, thriving wherever there is water. Their dense mats create a rich environment, allowing many species to hunt and forage effectively. However, water hyacinth is one of the fastest growing plant species known. They have the ability to reproduce rapidly, with an initial mat of water hyacinth capable of doubling in size within just 1 to 2 weeks. This vigorous growth sometimes hinders animals from accessing water sources, while also creating pollution when water hyacinths decompose excessively, affecting the ecosystem and the quality of water. At the beginning of the dry season, as water levels drop, these hyacinths quickly decompose, creating rich humus. It is here that the giant anteater finds its food. Giant anteaters are found in a wide range of habitats, from grasslands to rainforests. They often forage in open areas, but they also depend on forested environments and moist savannas, where insects thrive. In Pantanal, they search for food in moist areas where decaying vegetation attracts insects. Occasionally, they even venture into waterlogged regions. Giant anteaters feed primarily on ants and termites. With their long, sharp claws, they dig through soil and vegetation to reach their prey. Although their eyesight is poor, their sense of smell is extraordinary. Up to 40 times stronger than that of humans, it's their nose that helps them locate food. To digest ants and insects, the stomach of the giant anteater can produce formic acid instead of the hydrochloric acid commonly found in other mammals. What's unique about the giant anteater is that they have no teeth. The secret lies in their long, sticky tongue, which they use to catch prey. This tongue is narrow, covered in sharp spines, and can reach lengths of up to 60 centimeters. When they smell an ant mound, they quickly approach to locate the vents of the nest. The giant anteater catches ants through small openings at the top of the mound, then inserts its long, sticky tongue inside. They must eat quickly to avoid being bitten by the ants. They can flick their tongues in and out as fast as 150 to 160 times per minute, allowing them to catch enough ants to eat without being poisoned. The dry season in the Pantanal begins in May each year. At this time, rainfall decreases significantly, causing many flooded areas to dry up quickly. The scorching sun cracks the ground throughout the day. A large waterhole is almost completely dry, revealing fat caimans. This wet mud provides ideal conditions for wild pigs to dig for roots and crustaceans. They must hurry because as the water recedes, food becomes scarce. The moment the water dries up is advantageous for many species in Pantanal, especially birds. They can freely hunt for shrimp, fish, or insects. Everything is fully utilized. At this time, daytime temperatures in the Pantanal can reach up to 40 degrees Celsius, making the environment dry. For large animals like this deer, comfort is hard to come by. The heat forces them to drink more water, and they sometimes have to wallow in the mud to cool down. Everyone is hungry and thirsty. They must be much more careful when drinking water. Everyone watches cautiously, fearing the possibility of a hidden caiman lurking underwater. Bathing is a great way to cool down the body at this time. Eating a few green leaves helps lizards hydrate and combat the heat. As the water dries up, capybaras are forced to find ways to cool their bodies. Their thick fur and underlying fat layers betray them. The mud hole is hardening, yet many capybaras still crowd together to soak in it. It's truly risky. And these hungry caimans will never refuse such a chance. No water means death, so the caimans must move to lower areas to survive. The muddy ground hardens quickly during the dry season, and creatures burrow deeper into the soil. For South American coatis, finding food becomes much harder than during the rainy season. This group of South American coatis is very thirsty. Their priority now is finding water. They know well that where there is water, there is also a potential threat. Any sudden movement terrifies them. From July to September, each year is the worst of Pantanal's dry season. Those who can't survive perish. Almighty God, creator of all beings, keeper of the universe, we are facing a time of drought, deprived of rain. All creatures, plants and land are parched and exhausted. Lord, open the heavens and let rain pour down on this dry land. May the trees revive and rivers and lakes be filled once more. Hear our heartfelt prayers, Lord, and grant us the grace of rain. As the blessed rains fall, life here is reborn. Pantanal will soon recover, and all creatures will continue to flourish. This magnificent wetland ecosystem will continue to tell wondrous stories of nature's diversity and resilience.
Namibia. The place of the oldest desert in the world. A land where endless stretches of sand seem to have no end in sight. Red covers everything here, as if one were standing on the surface of Mars. Water is a rare sight, turning it into the most precious resource. It's even more valuable than gold or diamonds. The scorching dunes and harsh heat fail to defeat the resilient creatures here. Amidst the arid and treacherous land, life still persists in places where one would least expect it. One of the most surreal places on Earth, where at times it becomes a lush paradise, but at other times, it turns into a barren, deadly land. This is a land that God crafted with all the diverse shades of life. Here, every creature finds its place, a space to call home. Whether in lush plains or arid deserts, life thrives with vigor. From the smallest creatures to the wild rulers, every animal contributes to painting a magnificent portrait. This is a place where majestic landscapes and tenacious life converge. Namibia is a country blessed with spectacular scenery, offering some of the world's most stunning and varied vistas. Alongside its natural beauty, Namibia is also home to a rich and thriving wildlife population. With its blistering heat and rugged, challenging trails, Namibia is a destination for adventurous souls, those who seek to immerse themselves in nature and uncover the purest beauty to be found. Water gives birth to life, while the sun tests endurance. Every precious drop of water brings the promise of life, enabling creatures to flourish in harsh conditions. the sand shapes the land. And under the hand of the wind, all is sculpted into nature's masterpieces, reflecting the wonder and power of the universe. Etosha is a national park in northwestern Namibia, where rain falls for only a short time each year, from November to April. The Etosha waterhole is the lifeline that nourishes all animal species and serves as a gathering point for all creatures. Here, large animals such as elephants, zebras, giraffes, and even predators can be found, all coming to drink to sustain their lives. The harsh dry season can stretch for months without rain, making the waterhole a true savior. Food may become scarce, but without water, many lives could be lost. Life without scarcity would be the most perfect life. They all live together here until the rains arrive. The starlit sky beneath the towering quiver trees has become a majestic symbol of the South. The weather remains dry and scorching, with the sun's relentless heat all day, weakening anyone who dares to face it. The plains, with their jagged, weathered rock surfaces and minimal rainfall, rarely show a touch of green. But for herbivores, even dry grasses are enough to sustain their health and allow them to survive comfortably. In southern Namibia, annual rainfall is around 50 to 100 millimeters, with the entire year's rain equating to a single shower in equatorial tropical regions. Temperatures stay above 30 degrees Celsius year-round, and daytime highs can reach up to 45 degrees Celsius, creating an intensely arid and harsh environment. The zebras in Namibia are known as Hartmann's mountain zebras, a subspecies of the mountain zebra. These zebras are prominent in Namibia's mountainous and semi-arid regions. Hartmann's zebras display distinct black and white stripes and a sturdy build, well suited for rugged terrain. Compared to their relatives, Hartmann's zebras are smaller in size, but far better adapted to endure droughts. In the absence of water, sand baths prove highly useful, quickly removing troublesome parasites. To survive, most species must continuously move in search of water and food. With horn lengths ranging from 75 to 94 inches, the oryx becomes one of nature's longest horned creatures, serving as an emblem of Namibia's arid desert regions. The oryx can withstand thirst for up to 2 weeks without directly drinking water. During this time, they survive on moisture from food and regulate their bodies to minimize water loss. This adaptation allows them to venture deep into the desert's remote areas, or the central plains, where it's driest. They know that eventually, a water source will be found, so there is no need to rush. Beside the waterholes, predators are always lurking, waiting for their chance. Lions are ever present where wildlife gathers to drink. There is no place more advantageous than here, where prey comes to offer itself. All lions in this territory are well fed, never lacking food. For them, hunting is not difficult, allowing time during the day for play, rest, and relaxation. Young lions stay with the pride for around 2 to 3 years. When they mature, males typically leave to find their own territory or join other male groups, while females often remain, becoming integral to the pride's hunting and territorial defense. Every passing day is a long journey for herbivores. When the sun's intensity subsides, it's finally time for all to rest after a long, exhausting day battling the heat. Unlike the large herds of herbivores in the African savannas, herbivores in Namibia tend to move in smaller groups, with only a few dozen individuals. They traverse mountain ranges and vast sandy plains, enduring harsh and arid landscapes in their search for water and food. Etosha has a marsh in its central area. Due to its basin-like terrain, it serves as a critical water reservoir within Etosha National Park, providing essential water for many wildlife species during the dry season. Beneath the water, a predator that hails from the Cretaceous period, the Nile crocodile, lies in wait, ready to strike at any prey that lets its guard down while drinking. Even young hippos, if careless, find it difficult to escape the sharp teeth of these predators, becoming a meal in the silent yet perilous waters. Keeping an eye on the young becomes a relentless duty for the mother hippos. Along the edges of the depressions in Etosha National Park and the Zambezi Conservation Area, the grasses quickly disappear, replaced by shrubs and needle-leaf trees such as acacia and mopane. This is the favored hunting ground of wild dogs. Positioned not far from watering holes, it becomes the perfect location to ambush their prey. Herbivores wandering, weary and parched. This species specializes in hunting kudu, chasing them until the prey becomes exhausted and worn out. When they spot weakened prey or one that has strayed from the herd, they swiftly target and pursue it. Wild dogs are renowned for their endurance. Once their prey is in sight, they will never relent until they succeed. A large pack of wild dogs can number 20 to 30 individuals. Even when their prey is 2 to 3 times larger, they can swiftly bring it down through close coordination and effective hunting tactics. The unfortunate prey quickly becomes a feast for the pack. A single wild dog can consume up to 20% of its body weight in one meal, needing about 2 to 3 days to digest before embarking on the next hunt. In this harsh environment, food is never guaranteed, and with such a large pack, a single kudu may not be enough to meet everyone's hunger. The wild dog feast attracts its fair share of uninvited guests. Hyenas quickly pinpoint the feast and join in. However, the remaining scraps are far less valuable. The morsels that fall to the ground are not easy to devour. The jackals too are hungry, hoping for any scraps that might fall within their size range. However, being leftovers from wild dogs, the bones are nearly picked clean of meat. To fill their hungry bellies, hyenas lurk, waiting for an opportunity to snatch away valuable morsels, looking for a chance when the wild dogs slip up. Only when they're certain all the edible parts have been consumed do the wild dogs depart, leaving room for the cleanup crew. As the ones at the end of the food chain, the contribution of the kudu becomes a feast for these not-so-large but terrifying predators. The cold Benguela Current runs close to the coast nearly all year round, which is the main reason why Namibia, despite being coastal, has a desert climate. This current carries cold water from Antarctica, lowering the air temperature and preventing the evaporation of moisture from the sea. While the land may be harsh, the coastal areas, though seemingly inhospitable, are home to a rich variety of wildlife. The resilient creatures that have adapted to this harsh environment have existed for a long time, and one of the most abundant residents is the fur seal. Thanks to the nutrient-rich Benguela Current, seals gather year-round on sandy beaches and rocky outcrops along the coast of Namibia. At Skeleton Beach, it becomes home to around 300,000 fur seals, creating a dense and vibrant population. Though known as expert swimmers in the water, around 80% of a seal's life is spent on land, with most of that time devoted to resting and recovering after long hunting expeditions underwater. The remaining time is spent breeding and caring for their young, ensuring the next generation thrives. Fur seal pups are born between November and December. They are nurtured by their mothers for 6 to 8 weeks until they are capable of heading into the sea to catch fish. During this time, the mother provides milk to help them grow and accumulate the energy needed for life in the water. The cold waters year-round create favorable conditions for fish development. This stable and nutrient-rich environment nurtures a diverse marine ecosystem, making the Namibian coastline an ideal place for fish to thrive and reproduce. As a result, Seals do not need to travel far from the shore to take advantage of the abundant food sources. While their mothers go hunting, seal pups wait on the shore, where they can recognize their mothers by their unique calls. Around 70% of seal pups survive to maturity and make it to the sea, as long as their mothers do not encounter trouble in the ocean. However, the real danger begins once they enter the sea, where sharks, dangerous predators, can attack and threaten the lives of young seals during their first hunting trips. The Namibian coastline is home to many bird species like seabirds and black cormorants. These birds often gather near seal colonies, waiting to easily find food. Kelp gulls, omnivorous birds, often wander around seal colonies, continuously searching for an opportunity to turn a vulnerable seal pup into their meal. In such a dense population, there is no shortage of opportunities. It could be a lost, exhausted seal pup. The food will come to the gulls without them exerting any effort. Patience will certainly be rewarded. For seal pups, whether on land or in water, with or without their mothers, danger is always lurking. The harsh life will always provide opportunities for patient predators. Namibia's jackals often appear on the beach during the seal breeding season. They know that this is the time when seal pups are born and vulnerable, providing a golden opportunity to find food. These predators will not miss the opportunity to hunt when the seal mothers leave to hunt, leaving their pups alone. When they can't hunt the pups, the jackals will scavenge on the dead seals. For the jackals, the beach at this time is not just a land of sand and waves, but a feast that promises to sustain the entire pack during times of hunger. Despite its arid expanse, Namibia's low-lying areas with scarce water resources support a thriving bird community. Native bird species make the most of every rare water source and food supply to survive, from small ponds to waterholes that form after seasonal rains. For the guinea fowl, they cannot stray from the waterhole for more than a day. Without water, they would perish. Due to their small size and loosely organized pack behavior, jackals are rarely able to hunt prey larger than themselves. Lurking near waterholes and waiting for prey to come within reach is an effective strategy. But things don't always go smoothly. They are far from welcome by the herbivores, especially antelopes. Faced with much larger animals, jackals have only one choice: to flee. A single well-placed charge or back kick could mean certain death. When pigeons lower themselves close to the ground to drink, their field of vision diminishes significantly. The jackal continuously roams near the water's edge, fully aware that an unfortunate, thirsty creature will eventually have to surrender its life. Needing to drink water daily, these pigeons find it almost impossible to avoid danger. In this arid world, wherever there is water, there is life, and with it, the constant threat of danger and lurking death. The Namib Desert, stretching along Namibia's western coast, is one of the oldest deserts in the world. With its iconic red dunes and endless sands, the Namib presents a harsh yet mesmerizing beauty. The towering sand dunes, sculpted by winds over millions of years, create a landscape that is both primal and majestic. Only a few creatures, unafraid of the sun and needing little water, dare to survive here. Formed around 55 million years ago, the Namib is among the Earth's oldest deserts. Over millions of years, it has slowly grown hotter and expanded inland, its harshness and strong winds carving the vast dunes into unique shapes. The landscape seems static, but is ever shifting within the slow flow of time. The Namib's characteristic red and yellow sands owe their color to iron oxide and minerals like calcium. The vivid red of iron oxide mixed with the golden glints of mica minerals creates a unique landscape, especially under the harsh sunlight. Dune 7 is the tallest dune in the Namib, reaching around 383 meters. As one of the world's highest sand dunes, it towers like a mountain over the vast sea of sand. From its summit, one can gaze across the endless desert, where only sand and sunlight merge, a testament to the relentless power and harshness of time and nature. Amidst the towering dunes, this land was once lush, with streams weaving through and supporting life. Now, all that remains are hardened layers of mud and the ghostly remnants of acacia trees standing bare against the sky. This desolate scene, shrouded in a bleak palette, bears witness to a time gone by in nature's harsh struggle. This place may seem like a lifeless wasteland, yet the reality is quite different. Many species have chosen this as their territory, surviving and adapting in extraordinary ways. The reptiles here have evolved to adapt to the harsh desert environment. Many snake species inhabit this scorching land, compelled to hunt, yet forced to limit their exposure to the blistering sand. To survive, they seek out small crevices or patches of shade to rest. Some prefer to hide in tree branches, avoiding the scorching sand surface. Most of their time is spent camouflaging, waiting for prey to fall unwittingly into their trap. With their unique sideways movement across the sand, they keep most of their body off the scorching surface, moving swiftly yet safely during the hunt. The horned viper, one of the desert's skilled predators, is a master of camouflage, making it nearly invisible amidst the golden sand. Its target might be the desert sparrows. However, these birds are quick and highly alert. The sparrow often moves along the sand in search of insects. Only in unfortunate moments does it fall into the horned viper's trap. It seems to sense danger, but more importantly, it must protect its nest and the chicks awaiting food. It has spotted the snake. In the Namib Desert, where food is scarce and living conditions are harsh, animals have evolved unique survival strategies to adapt to this environment. Symbiotic relationships or benefiting from other species are fully exploited. Baboons are adept at foraging. They know that beneath the dry grass lies a layer of nutritious roots that can be consumed. Additionally, elephant dung serves as a fertile ground to scavenge for resources. Baboons are highly intelligent creatures when it comes to food hunting. They understand that under the dry grass, they can find roots rich in nutrients. Moreover, elephant dung offers a bountiful source of sustenance, harboring insects and small creatures. Dung piles are also prime spots for hammerkop birds to efficiently hunt for insects. The Kunene River is a major river located in northwestern Namibia, forming part of the natural boundary between Namibia and Angola. Ruacana Falls stands at approximately 120 meters high and spans about 700 meters wide. While the water flow can diminish during the dry season, in the rainy season, from November to April, the falls can surge dramatically, creating a spectacular sight. The Kunene River is one of the region's vital waterways, supplying water to Namibia's arid ecosystems, especially within desert areas. The river flows year-round, delivering precious fresh water to arid regions and supporting the lives of many wildlife species. This precious water source has made Namibia one of the most diverse landscapes on Earth, from coastlines to vast arid deserts and to fertile, waterlogged plains. With water available year-round, herbivores here enjoy a prosperous existence. The roan antelope, an extremely rare species, is one of the remarkable inhabitants of Mahango. Here, they are preserved in a secure environment, with ample shade from large trees and abundant food sources. The dry season is when the plains see the highest concentration of elephants throughout the year. They travel thousands of kilometers over several months in search of water and food. Rupara National Park, located next to Mahango, is an exceptional conservation area with an extraordinary density of wildlife, rare to find anywhere in the world. The dense forests here serve as ideal sanctuaries for various species of antelopes and giraffes. Rupara is not only a region of diverse ecosystems, but also an oasis during the dry season, attracting herds of elephants from Angola, Namibia, and Botswana in search of water. They only depart when these areas become dry and water vanishes from the surface. The fairy circles in the Namib Desert are truly one of the most fascinating and mysterious natural phenomena. These circles appear as circular patches of bare ground, often surrounded by tall grass on the edges, while the center remains completely barren. Scientists have proposed various theories, ranging from competition among grasses for water to the impact of strong winds or the activities of termites underground. However, no explanation has yet been compelling enough to fully unravel this enchanting phenomenon. The Namib Desert region, especially the Namib Naukluft and Damaraland areas, is home to numerous dead rivers, leaving significant imprints on the terrain. Although these rivers rarely have flowing water throughout the year, they retain moisture beneath the sand, allowing vegetation to appear greener and attracting wildlife to inhabit these areas. What's remarkable about the Khoaiseb, Tsaochab, and Zondong rivers is that during the rainy season, particularly after heavy rainfall, water may flow briefly before drying up again. Following the rare heavy rains of the year, herds of giraffes cross the sand dunes to reach the dead rivers, where moisture remains, providing more food and, most importantly, access to water. The Namib Desert is a realm of wonders and mysteries. In its most barren landscapes, the Namib Desert chameleon survives without drinking water, relying on these tiny insects. Apart from the springbok and oryx antelopes, hardly any other hoofed animals can endure the harsh conditions of the Namib Desert. The oryx has an exceptional ability to regulate its body temperature to prevent water loss, allowing it to withstand extreme heat of up to 45 degrees Celsius. Its unique blood circulation mechanism ensures that the brain and other vital organs remain unaffected by high body temperatures, even when the sand's surface reaches scorching levels of 70 degrees Celsius. Despite their remarkable adaptations, herbivores cannot go without water for extended periods. They must move daily in search of remaining water holes. Finally, after long and arduous journeys, water is discovered. The giraffe herd eagerly quenches their thirst. In the Namib Desert, these waterholes often exist only briefly, even during the peak of the rainy season. Thus, wildlife is always in a rush, never certain when the water will run out. This uncertainty forces creatures to compete for every drop and adapt to survive in the harsh, scarce conditions. Each day, more animals gather at the waterholes, fully aware of lurking dangers nearby. The thirst for precious water is so overwhelming that many animals ignore the presence of lions. Even the lions, at this moment, seem more focused on the water than on hunting. Within days, the waterhole's size diminishes rapidly before vanishing entirely. The land of Etosha is full of surprises, and its animals must remain constantly vigilant. After quenching their thirst, the animals return to their herds and move to open grasslands to avoid danger. If they are not careful, this could be their last encounter with water. Many never leave, becoming nourishment for others. Namibia, a land of wild and harsh wonders, where life finds ways to thrive amid adversity. Whether through burning thirst or perilous journeys, the wildlife here has adapted to survive and flourish. Amidst vast deserts and expansive grasslands, Namibia is not just a land of sand and heat, but also an endless tale of nature's resilience. This is the only desert on Earth where sand, sun, and wind coexist with a thriving ecosystem. In this seemingly impenetrable world, the abundance of wildlife stands as a powerful testament to the strength of nature and life's extraordinary will to survive.